checking in. How the Sox are getting ready for Wednesday night's Game 1. Plus, what you may have to pay to get a seat inside Fenway Park.
Aaron Hernandez back in court. Why prosecutors think there should be a new judge in charge of the case.
A bizarre fall onto an MBTA platform. What police say this woman was doing when she tumbled onto the tracks.
Plus, she lost a leg in the marathon bombings, but this dancer has vowed to dance again.
They are going to hit me for my leg. So exciting!
Her video diary documenting her emotional journey to recover.
Live from Boston, WBZ News at 5 starts right now.
Fenway Park, the home of the Boston Red Sox, getting ready to host the World Series for the third time in a decade. Good evening, everybody. I'm Paula Ebben.
And I'm Jack Williams in for Johnathan tonight. Well, the Red Sox will face the St. Louis Cardinals for Game 1 on Wednesday night. And the players and the fans, well, they're pretty excited. Dan Roche joins us live at Fenway Park with an update. Dan.
Well, Jack and Paul, I think everyone's excited about this one. Starts on Wednesday, Game 1 here, Wednesday night. The two best teams in baseball, both with identical records. So we're getting the best product. We'll see if it unfolds into a dramatic series. It could be, but I think we're going to see a special series just because of how good both of these teams have been in the regular and the postseason. Now, the Sox worked out here a short time ago, getting loose, fielding ground balls, taking batting practice. Now, after clinching the ALCS on Saturday, the team had the day off yesterday. So you got to figure they wanted to get away from each other for a little bit, wind down, but that wasn't the case. In fact, Sox manager John Farrell said the team held a function yesterday, just another sign of how close the 2013 Red Sox team is.
What I've seen this year is like no other, and that's a cohesiveness that, whether it goes back to the bombings that, you know, we're one example to unite or galvanize to. But the number of team functions that this group will do impromptu is something I've never seen. You know, dinners of 20 to 24 guys going to dinner. You know, those things typically don't happen in this day and age, and yet they happen fairly regularly here.
And it was interesting talking to one of the players about the function. It was at David Ortiz's house. It was fully catered. Kids, wives, parents were all there. They just said they had a wonderful time. In fact, one of the players said his wife, when they came home, said that was one of the best things I've ever been a part of. David giving tours of, his house and showing different memorabilia. So really a cool atmosphere amongst this team. John Lester, by the way, will start in Game 1. The rest of the rotation will be announced by John Farrell tomorrow. We'll have more coming up a little bit later on, but from live at Fenway Park, I'm Dan Roche. Paula, let's go back to you.
No denying special chemistry. Dan Roche, thank you. We'll see you in just a little bit. Of course, the Sox are hoping to bring another championship home to Boston, and fans from all over New England and across the country are scrambling to try to get tickets for Game 1. But as Michelle Roberts shows us, we'll have to open their wallets very wide.
Thank you for calling News Ticket in Boston. This is Carol speaking. How may I help you?
Every caller wants to know the same thing. Are there tickets and how much?
Right now, prices are starting at about $670 per ticket, with our best seats available going up to about $5,000 or more.
That's right. Ace Tickets is selling seats for Game 1 from $475 to $5,000. But CEO Jim Holzman says those prices could double or even triple closer to game day.
It is a lot of money, but it is the World Series. It's something, usually happens once in a lifetime. We're very fortunate to have it 3 times in our lifetime.
Fenway Fever isn't just for lifetime Sox fans.
So I come to Fenway Park, bought my children some bits. I've got a glove here.
Daryl Baxter is from London. He referred to the incredible softball match on Saturday. He may not have the lingo down yet, but hey, who cares? But you're a fan now.
I'm a fan now, definitely. I would like to get some tickets, but I heard they're going for about $800, aren't they?
The prices are steep, but it seems everyone's holding on to some hope to see history made at Fenway Park.
We're not buying. We're waiting for someone to give them to us or win the lottery.
While fans are hoping to win the lottery, the city of Boston is cashing in. The Chamber of Commerce says every game brings in about $9 million. I'm certainly not going to be spending $5,000 on a ticket, but I did buy a $25 hat. Reporting at Fenway Park, Michelle Roberts, WBZ News.
A Rhode Island man has a piece of history in his hands. On Saturday night, it was Nick Woods and his friends. They were in the stands cheering for the Sox when all of a sudden, Shane Victorino launched that 7th inning grand slam. The ball came right at them in the monster seats, and suddenly Wood realized the now famous ball was right next to it.
I guess it took a bounce off, I don't know, one of the signs or something, and just was literally next to my shoe. I just grabbed it, and after that it was just mayhem.
By the way, Wood says he would be interested in trading the ball to the Red Sox. What he wants in exchange, how about some World Series tickets? Well, the Red Sox will have home field advantage in the World Series. Here's how the schedule breaks down. Game 1 is Wednesday at Fenway at 8 o'clock. Game 2, Thursday night. Then the Red Sox head out to St. Louis. Game 3 Saturday at Busch Stadium. Game 4 Sunday. Now, if needed, Game 5 would be in St. Louis. Then Game 6 and 7 would come back to Fenway Park.
CBSBoston.com is your source for everything Red Sox. Follow our live blogs during each game. Shop for your official Red Sox World Series gear. And you can share your Red Sox fan photos. We have Jeff here with his pumpkin all decked out with the appropriate beard for Halloween. And baby Luke proves you're never too young to be a Red Sox fan. And take a look at this. State Police tweeted out this photo of Trooper Ted McMahon with his unit in Bagram, Afghanistan. They're sending their support to the Red Sox, and the call sign for that Black Hawk helicopter is Bo Sox. Love it. Upload your photos to our website, cbsboston.com.
Well, our weather's going to be changing just in time for the World Series. It's going downhill.
I know. A few sprinkles, perhaps. And Chief Meteorologist Eric Fisher is here with a first look at our forecast. Now you're going to be hounded for every start. How is it going to look?
It's been great for 3 months, and people will complain, I'm sure. You know, it's October's finest. You expect it to be cold in Fenway. It's the World Series tonight. It's beautiful. The shadows creeping up toward the bleachers this evening. But as we head toward game time on Wednesday, how about the temperatures? They'll be in the 40s. Looks like there'll be a chilly rain early. It should be ending right around the start of the game. So we're expecting dry weather, but breezy wind chill. We'll be back into the 30s. Get your Red Sox snuggie ready. Same story for Thursday. It'll be cold, dry, and breezy. And again, temperatures in the 40s, but wind chill in the 30s. A big change compared to what we saw during the ALCS. The culprit for that, it's the air mass out here. Look at the snow falling across Wisconsin and Minnesota this evening. We've got temperatures there that are back in the 30s. That's the air mass that's headed toward us. No problems tonight, but we'll talk about those big changes coming up in a little bit. Paula?
We'll see you then. Eric, thanks. Well, there will not be a new judge hearing the murder case against former Patriot Aaron Hernandez. Less than 2 hours ago, Judge Susan Garsh denied a prosecution request to recuse herself. So, what does this mean for the case now? Bill Shields is live for us in Fall River tonight. Bill?
Well, Paula, you know, just about every trial lawyer in this state knows every judge in this state. They all work together every day, so sometimes there's going to be some friction. In this particular case, there is a history of friction between the prosecutor in this case and the judge. It all came to a head in the courtroom in back of me just a couple of hours ago. Aaron Hernandez came to court today, but it was not about the former Patriot star. Today, the issue was the legal history between Judge Susan Garsh and the man prosecuting Aaron Hernandez, William McCauley.
Your Honor, this was not a motion that I filed to judge shop, to do anything other than to bring attention what I thought was antagonism and an unfairness.
3 years ago, McCauley successfully prosecuted a killer named George Duarte. Garsh was the judge, and even though McCauley won the case, he wasn't happy with the judge.
The court further undermined my credibility as I argued this case.
But Hernandez's defense attorney said there was no reason for Judge Garsh to remove herself from the upcoming trial.
I think we demonstrated quite clearly that the Commonwealth's motion is utterly devoid of any factual or legal merit.
In the end, the judge claimed she had no ill will toward Prosecutor McCauley, so she'll stay on the case.
I have examined my emotions and consulted my conscience, and I am satisfied that I have no bias as a result of anything that may have transpired in the 2010 case.
The district attorney said that he did have the option of appealing this to the SJC, but about an hour ago, he said no thanks. So Judge Garsh will stay on the Hernandez case. Reporting live from Fall River, I'm Bill Shields, WBZ News.
Thank you, Bill. A Freetown woman accused of abusing her 7-month-old son faced a judge today. Police charged 33-year-old Megan Vogel with assault and battery. Investigators say her husband drove the baby boy to the hospital Saturday afternoon after a family member called police. The little child suffered injuries to his face and body. He's now out of the hospital. He's been put in state custody. A Saugus man is dead after an early morning crash on I-93 in Andover. Just before 1:30 this morning, police say that 37-year-old Louis Cardouse rear-ended a tractor-trailer. Now, Cardouse died. The truck driver was not hurt. Investigators still trying to figure out why in the world he didn't stop.
A student opened fire inside a Nevada middle school today, killing a staff staff member who was trying to protect other children. Now, Sparks is a city that's just east of Reno. Students at the school and at the neighboring elementary school, which you see here, had to be evacuated to the city's high school. Teresa Garcia has the details.
Police in Nevada say a student opened fire on the campus of Sparks Middle School shortly before class started. Officers say he killed a teacher and shot 2 other students.
One has gone through surgery and is out at this time. The other individual is doing well.
The suspect is also dead. Police say they have nearly 30 witnesses to interview and video to review, but that it appears the teacher was shot and killed trying to intervene and stop the shooter.
As you can imagine, the best description is chaos. So it's too early to say whether or not he was targeting specific people or just going on a indiscriminate shooting spree.
Nearly 200 law enforcement officers secured the school and surrounding area. Students from both the middle school and the neighboring elementary campus evacuated to a nearby high school, where rattled parents reunited with them.
I want to say how tragic this is and how saddened we are. Our student safety and our staff safety is of utmost paramount concern to us.
The school district says it is closing Sparks Middle School for the week while it offers counseling and the investigation gets underway. Teresa Garcia, CBS News.
Family members say math teacher Michael Lansbury was the staff member who was killed. The police have not yet revealed the identities of the student who shot him or the other 2 survivors. Jack?
Well, Paula, driver in the hospital tonight after a bad collision with a school bus. This took place in Seacon. The 24-year-old man slammed into the back of the school bus that had nearly 24 kids on board. The crash happened before 8 o'clock this morning on Route 6. A parent whose child just got on the bus says the car's driver probably didn't realize the bus was stopped, then crashed right into it.
The sun was so bright right there in the center, like it was right in the corridor of the highway. He didn't see that bus at all, so he just plowed right into it.
We do know the driver has serious injuries, but no one on the bus was injured. Police living in the area say this is a very busy road with cars zipping by in both directions.
Boston school buses were on the road this morning, a day after school officials had warned there could be another strike. The labor dispute between the bus contractor and the drivers' union is still unsettled. The 2 sides are continuing to meet. Union members hope the National Labor Relations Board will hear their complaints. A surprise strike earlier this month stranded about 33,000 students. School officials say the October 8th strike was illegal.
A big dent in Boston's hopes for a casino resort. Caesars Entertainment forced to withdraw from its partnership with Suffolk Downs. Still to come, will the proposed casino be able to recover before next month's vote?
Plus, that brand new penalty on the books that may have cost the Patriots the game against the Jets. We'll take a closer look at the rule and hear from the man who broke it.
And an unexpected situation at Davis Square. A woman walks right on the platform and falls onto the train tracks below. Why police say she had no clue what happened.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Luna.
Get the best of both worlds. Free installation, plus get up to $1,000 off. Call Luna today. 773-202. Luna.
The Volkswagen Sign Then Drive sales event is back, which means it's never been easier to get a new Passat. Awarded J.D. Power's most appealing midsize car 2 years in a row. And right now, you can drive one home for practically just your signature. It's zero due at signing, zero down, zero deposit, and zero first month's payment on any new 2014 Volkswagen. Hurry, this offer ends October 31st. For details, visit bwdealer.com today.
There are a number of new reasons to look at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Massachusetts for your Medicare options. The name you know so well now has options you may not know, starting with new Blue Cross Medicare plans as low as $0. These plans include everything from routine annual physicals to hearing and vision exams, and prescription drugs. And we have an affordable individual dental plan too. Call us for information and to request our free guide to Medicare. And of course, These plans all come with the peace of mind of Blue Cross. So call 1-888-800-8445 for your free copy of your guide to Medicare with no obligation. You've got a number of reasons to go with Blue Cross Blue Shield.
You've worked hard to live your best life. And Rite Aid has what you need to keep you there, including a free review of Medicare Part D prescription plans with a pharmacist. Get the right information to pick the plan with the best value based on your Rite Aid prescriptions, and avoid the possibility of overpaying, as plans can change year to year. And another Wellness 65 Plus benefit, save 20% off almost everything the first Wednesday of every month. Enroll free today.
Candy. Who doesn't want a little candy? This Halloween, your New England Honda dealers want you to bring home a different kind of candy. Automotive candy, that is. Choose from a great selection of new Honda Civics, Accords, Pilots, Odysseys, and CRVs. Unwrap a sweet deal on the all-wheel drive CRV for just $249 a month. Hurry in. The sweet incentives will all be gone Monday, November 4th at the Halloween Savings Event at your New England Honda dealers.
Caught on tape. Without hesitating, a woman walks right off the platform of the Davis Square MBTA station. Fellow passengers had to rush in to her rescue. And police say the woman wasn't distracted. In fact, she was sleepwalking.
Christina Hager is live in Boston with the rest of the story tonight. Christina?
That's right, Paula. Not just sleeping, but sleepwalking. It seems hard to imagine something like that could happen in a place that's busy and bustling and noisy like this. But that's what this woman told police she thinks happened. Rush hour on the red line at Davis Square. The crowds come in waves. This morning it was empty when a surveillance camera caught this woman, you see on the right of the screen, step forward toward the outbound tracks.
And she didn't hesitate at all. She walked right off the platform, right into the tracks. If somebody was deliberately doing that, they would at least stop at the edge, it seems.
We showed the video to regulars here on the line.
Oh my God. It's really sad to see someone just go off the train tracks like that.
According to the MBTA police report, the 31-year-old had fallen asleep on a bench, and she said she was possibly sleepwalking when she stepped right over that bright yellow textured strip. We can see her moving around in the pit, but she manages to avoid that electrified third rail, and her timing was lucky too. Nothing like this. In fact, the closest train was more than a T-stop away. Within seconds, riders arrived, spotted her, and jumped in to pull her out.
She was lucky that if she was also still asleep or something, or at the bottom, she was lucky people saw her when she did.
The big guy was looking out for her.
And it seems it's been happening all too often. Just last week, another woman fell onto the tracks at the downtown Crossing T station. And last month, the team launched a safety campaign reminding people to stay away from the edge. It's still happening. In this case, the woman went to the hospital with just an arm injury. She was lucky. In Somerville, Christina Hager, WBZ News. Jack, Paula, back to you.
Christina, thank you very much. Well, let's turn our attention to the weather. It has been fabulous.
Fabulous.
Never ending until now.
Until now. I said, boy, it was cold this morning, and Eric said we ain't seen nothing yet.
And wait till later on this week, and we're going to get a little exercise, getting ready for the winter season. Not exactly winter weather, but not as nice as it has been. No, not so much. So let's take a look. Let's remember how great October has been to us. 18 of 21 days have been at or above normal when it comes to temperature. On the average, 5 degrees above average per day. And we've had 6 days at 70 degrees or higher. The high in Boston today was 68, just shy. No complaints when it comes to the weather locally here recently. It's 61 now in Boston, 64 in Taunton, Nantucket at 60 degrees, and Worcester's at 61. Another cool evening, nice temperatures, lots of sunshine out there, a few clouds off to our north. But we see the blue lurking. When you get into that dark blue on the weather map, you know the cold air is coming from our friends to the north, and certainly that's going to be the case. There's actually snow falling here across portions of northern Michigan and into Wisconsin, the arrowhead of Minnesota. A trail of cold front trails out ahead of that, and that's what's going to move through tomorrow. So one more good day before that front arrives and starts to bring in the colder air. Mainly clear skies across southern New England. A little more of cirrus cloud cover as we move up toward New Hampshire and Vermont for this evening. Lows tonight, we'll see some increasing cloudiness after midnight. Not as bad as last night, as Paul was mentioning. It was a cold morning today, but 50 in Boston, 46 in Worcester, Providence down to about 50. We'll stay in the low 50s for much of the Cape and the Islands for tonight. Tomorrow morning, you wake up dry and cool, a mix of sun and clouds around 50 degrees with light southerly winds. Sunrise is just a few minutes after 7. We'll have filtered sunshine around lunchtime. Then between lunch and the evening commute, there's a slight chance for a brief shower, especially north and west of Boston. There's not going to be much rain here, so many towns will stay dry. And the wind will start to pick up out of the west, 10 to 20 miles per hour tomorrow evening. That's the start of the colder air. There's a big core of it out across the northern Great Lakes. By the time we head toward Wednesday and beyond, that's going to dig its way down across the southeast and the east coast. The really bad stuff is going to miss us in terms of the biggest departures from average, but we're still going to be certainly quite cold. 68 is our high temperature tomorrow. That's above the average high of 60, but then on Wednesday, I think we stay in the 40s. 52 on Thursday, 50 on Friday as well as Saturday, still in the mid-50s on Sunday. That whole stretch below average, and we haven't had much of that recently. Also some news from the tropics tonight. This little swirl out here, way out in the Atlantic, that is Lorenzo, and Lorenzo will stay well out to the Atlantic. Our 12th named storm of the year. You see, it is no threat to land whatsoever. Maybe this will be it for the hurricane season. Talk more about that cold, of course, the Red Sox forecast, and we might warm up again coming up a little later on in the newscast. Paula, Jack, back to you.
Eric, thanks. Patriots fans are still seeing red after that overtime loss against the Jets.
I'm still scratching my head.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Well, it's a brand new rule that never been called before. Boy, did it cost the Patriots big time. Let's go back to Dan Roche at Fenway Park. Maybe he knows what happened because I don't. Dan?
Yeah, Jack, I'm with you. It was a head-scratcher indeed. It's really fans talking about that. What the heck was going on when defensive lineman Chris Jones got hit with that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty? Because it was a new rule put in by the NFL, as you mentioned, this season. That's why everyone was kind of befuddled as it was called. Now take a look. You go back to yesterday, you'll see it here. Jones, circled in yellow, pushes a teammate, Will Spitak, into the line while Nick Folk attempts a 56-yard field goal. Now the rule states that a player cannot push a teammate into the offensive formation, and as you can see, he does push him. Apparently the rule enacted for player safety. It was the first time a team got hit with the penalty this season, and after the game, Bill Belichick disagreed with the call. However, during a conference call with the media this morning, the head coach changed his tune.
So obviously we are wrong. It's our job to understand the rules, and whatever the bottom line is, we didn't do it properly.
Alan, you had to feel for the kid who stood in front of the media after the game and took the blame for everything, saying it was my fault, I shouldn't have done it, I've learned from it, we'll move on. But this morning, Bill Belichick saying it wasn't his fault. The Patriots got to do a better job of coaching and letting them know about that rule. So Bill Belichick trying to take the heat off the young kid who had to feel obviously very bad about what happened down at the Meadowlands. That's it for now from Fenway Park. Back with more on the Sox coming up at 6. Jack and Paula, let's go back to you.
I'm sure he was relieved to hear the coach say that.
It ruined my weekend. Can I say that?
No, Saturday night was even better, so we're okay. Dan Roche, live at Fenway, thanks so much.
Yep.
Well, a disturbing incident after the Patriots game was caught on video. Take a look at this. You can see a man wearing a Jets jersey here punching a woman during a fight outside MetLife Stadium. Now, the video posted on Deadspin shows some men fighting as they leave the stadium, but a woman here wearing Patriots gear confronts one of the men in the Jets jersey, and that's when he punches her in the face. A Jets spokesperson says that the people involved in that fight were taken into custody.
And no, I don't like the Jets. There.
Just for the record.
For the record. Secretary of State John Kerry, he's in France tonight.
He wants to talk about Syria, but a spying controversy is stealing all the headlines.
Plus, new research about spanking, how this form of discipline could actually encourage some of the behaviors intended to stop. Right now, let's get to Lisa Hughes with a look at what's coming up on our 6 o'clock news.
Well, Jack and Paula, relief is coming for commuters tired of one very congested road. But at what price? Coming up new at 6, the Route 2 expansion and why neighbors say these improvements are ruining their neighborhood. And last call for the Hilltop Steakhouse cows, where the famous fiberglass livestock is headed now that the Saugus landmark is closed.
Start your day by coming together.
How you doing?
Good.
To get the headlines.
We do have breaking news this morning.
Sky Eye is now there. We can give you the live picture.
To learn what's happening where you live.
Some isolated storms by midday.
There's a crash on 95 North at 128.
To share ideas.
We want to know what you think.
It is our daily talker.
In a place where you have a voice.
We want to see your videos.
Get your kids or your coworkers together.
WBZ News in the Morning with David, Carrie, Todd, and Michelle.
Where do I sign?
Let's start the day together.
When it comes to crossovers, no other vehicle compares to the Kia Sorento. It has an available GDI V6 engine, a programmable power liftgate, panoramic sunroof, and so much more. And if that wasn't enough, here's one feature just can't beat. Game, set, match. Lease the Sorento for $239 a month, or get 0% APR financing for up to 60 months.
Hello world, how are you? Columbus sailed the ocean blue. How exhausting.
It's Sleepy's extended Columbus mattress sale. Get half off every mattress in the store. Sleepy's, the mattress professionals.
The Pick Your Perfect Civic event is happening now, and you could get an amazing deal on a new Honda Civic. Our best Civic yet is loaded with standard features, and it was the first car in its category to receive the highest rating of Top Safety Pick Plus from the IIHS. So head to your Honda dealer today, and you could get an incredible deal on the car everyone loves. Now, at the Pick Your Perfect Civic event. Lease one for just $159 per month, with $19.99 due at signing. Now, at your Honda dealer.
New season, new sandwich. Introducing Honeydew's delicious Willow Tree Cranberry Walnut Chicken Salad Sandwich. Made fresh to order with delicious ingredients from Willow Tree Farm and served on a tasty croissant for just $3.29. It's available for a limited time, so try one today.
Hi, I'm Dawn Hayes for the Toyota Winning Numbers sales event. And the winning numbers are 1, 8, and 9. That's a winning $189 a month lease on an all-wheel drive Venza. And next we have 0, 6, and 0. That's a winning 0 for 60 on Prius. The Toyota Winning Numbers sales event is going on now. Everyone's a winner. Toyota, let's go places.
On Health Watch, a new study shows that spanking your child can be more damaging to them than first thought.
Allison Harla has the story that could prompt some parents to reconsider their habits.
Studies have shown that spanking can lead to behavioral problems. Now researchers find it may also hurt a child's cognitive development.
Children who were spanked by fathers at high levels showed decreases in verbal capacity by age 9.
Children who were spanked at least twice a week by their mother at age 3 or 5 were also more likely to break rules and act aggressively. Scientists at Columbia University School of Social Work looked at nearly 2,000 children from 20 large cities in the U.S. and found that spanking is still very common.
Over 50% of parents by age 5 were spanking their children.
Give that to him.
Wendy Bradford has 3 children under the age of 6 and is trying hard not to spank.
Ellie, I'm stuck with 3 kids in a small apartment who have been acting out for a few hours, and that's the last straw of the day, and I don't think it's okay.
Most pediatricians agree there are better ways to discipline.
Discussing the bad behavior, positive reinforcement, and limited use of timeouts can be good.
Wendy is trying a reward system with marbles.
I need a whole new set of methods.
Doctors also suggest parents take a timeout themselves to think of the most effective punishment before spanking. Allison Harmelin for CBS News, New York.
Well, when the bombs at the marathon finish line went off, Adrienne Hazlitt Davis's life changed in an instant.
She's a dancer. She lost her leg, but not her determination. Still ahead, her video diary showing her incredible recovery step by step.
Plus, President Obama speaking out about all the problems new healthcare laws sign up. What we can expect, and when we can expect to see the glitches disappear.
The odds on an East Boston casino just got longer, with a crucial vote on the plan just 2 weeks away. What the mayoral candidates are saying about this unexpected mess.
Today's weather on WBZ is brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers.
The Chevy Cruze offers an EPA-estimated 38 mpg highway. That's crazy. Crazy efficient. 10 standard airbags. And you get StabiliTrak with traction control. That is like crazy protection. This interior is insane. It is insane. I was gonna say crazy again.
Visit your New England Chevy dealer. Right now, qualified lessees with a current lease can get a 2014 Chevy Cruze LT for around $149 per month.
With all our wireless devices, our household needed more speed. So we left Fios and switched to Xfinity, and now we get faster internet. We get more speed for our money. That's not technology, that's just basic math.
Does that mean I can get a car?
Sure.
Really?
No.
More doesn't have to cost more. Switch to Xfinity Internet from Comcast for $29.99 a month for 12 months. Get the fastest in-home Wi-Fi for all rooms, all devices, all the time. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Check out tonight's great lineup starting at 8, only on WBZ. Brought to you locally by JetBlue. You above all.
With a 200-horsepower turbocharged engine, the versatility of an SUV, and 2 years of no-charge scheduled maintenance, the 2014 Tiguan doesn't just stand out from the competition, it blows right by. That's the power of German engineering. Get zero down, zero do-it signing, zero deposit, and zero first month's payment on Tiguan or any new 2014 Volkswagen.
You've worked hard to live your best life. And Rite Aid has what you need to keep you there, including a free review of Medicare Part D prescription plans with a pharmacist. Get the right information to pick the plan with the best value based on your Rite Aid prescriptions, and avoid the possibility of overpaying, as plans can change year to year. And another Wellness 65 Plus benefit, save 20% off almost everything the first Wednesday of every month. Enroll free today.
Nicki Minaj and the Wheel of Accents.
It was like totally so cold yesterday.
Next, Queen Latifah.
Tomorrow at 9 on WBZ TV.
Our top stories at 5:30. The Boston Red Sox getting ready to play in their first World Series since 2007. Live pictures coming from Fenway Park tonight. The team was out on the field practicing this afternoon. By the way, tickets for Game 1, at least $475 each.
The judge overseeing Aaron Hernandez's murder case will stay on the case. Judge Susan Garsh denied a prosecution request to recuse herself. Prosecutors argued she is biased and has a, quote, history of antagonism.
And right now, the owners of Suffolk Downs are looking for a new partner to run their proposed casino there. Caesars Entertainment has pulled out of the wake of the Gambling Commission probe that raised questions about its integrity.
And that dramatic turn of events couldn't come at a worse time politically. John Keller's here now with a look at the potential damage to prospects for an East Boston casino. So what now, John?
Well, Paula, Jack, Suffolk Downs was quick to part ways with Caesars on Friday when word surfaced of the Gaming Commission's concerns about underworld links to the gambling giant. But with a make-or-break vote on their plans set for mayoral election day, November 5th, the big question is, how much damage has been done to the casino plan's public image?
It was very poor judgment, and if Suffolk Downs probably should have done, a better background check on it.
I think it's a very concerning development relative to Caesars.
Boston mayoral hopefuls John Connolly and Marty Walsh keeping their distance today from a Suffolk Downs casino bandwagon that just hit a very bad pothole. With East Boston residents set to vote on the deal 2 weeks from tomorrow, the candidates sound more eager than ever to defer to them for the final call. You still support them as a location for a casino?
I do, but ultimately it's up to the voters of East Boston, and whatever the voters of East Boston decide is where I'm going to go.
I have concerns on all of those fronts, but I believe firmly that the people who will be most impacted will make the right decision, whatever it may be.
But while Mayor Tom Menino wants to see if the vote can be postponed, Secretary of State Bill Galvin says no way. The ballots have already been printed with Caesar's name on it. Vote no on the proposed casino. And the casino's critics have pounced, demanding in a letter today that Suffolk either explain in detail how the Caesars dropout affects their promises to the community, or withdraw its application altogether.
We'll see if the residents feel it's right, but
How can they decide if they don't know who the operator is?
Well, I would imagine that's going to weigh into their thinking.
Well, we've just learned that tomorrow Suffolk Downs will begin airing a 67 cable TV ad repeating their promises about the casino's community benefits. Meanwhile, the Gaming Commission is due to release an edited version of their report on Caesars on Wednesday, guaranteeing another rush of dubious publicity as voting day nears. Paula, Jack, back to you.
And that ballot means a lot of questions on Election Day. John Keller, thank you so much. Well, hope you had a chance to get out there, enjoy the beautiful 60s today.
I guess we have one more day, then it's going to take a dive. A dive. Here's Eric.
Jack, I love your sunny disposition when it comes to the weather there. Yes, some big changes are definitely coming our way. So we enjoy today. We'll enjoy tonight. Mainly clear skies across southern New England. There are some clouds starting to stream in across New Hampshire and Vermont. Is ahead of our next weather maker. That may bring a couple of raindrops for tomorrow. But for tonight, pretty quiet evening. A few clouds early. They'll start to increase after midnight. Not quite as cold as what we saw last night. A lot of towns well back into the 30s. We're generally between 40 and 50 tonight, closer to 50 in Boston and closer to 40 across some of the western suburbs. We've got the colder air on the map. It's now making its move through the Great Lakes. It'll be getting here very shortly. So the idea is one more day in the 60s. After that, the big pattern change, more of a November feel as we head toward the end of the week, and chilly nights at Fenway. More details on the way in about 10 minutes. Jack, Paul.
All right, Eric, thank you. It's official now. The man who claimed the Whitey Bulger stole his South Boston liquor store died from cyanide poisoning. Prosecutors say Stephen Rakes was murdered. His iced coffee was laced with a deadly poison. His death had nothing to do with the Whitey Bulger case. Prosecutors say that William Cavuti killed Rakes because he owed Rakes money.
Well, the owners of a tanker that hit a bridge connecting New Hampshire and Maine have now agreed to mediation with the states. Back on April 1st, you might remember this, the tanker hit the Sarah Mildred Long Bridge. The state sued the owners, saying the crew didn't properly secure the tanker and required $2.4 million to release the vessel. The owners say that the states are guilty of negligence and they want their money back. Mediation should conclude by the end of next month.
Tonight, Secretary of State John Kerry is in Paris at the start of a European tour seeking a solution on Syria. But most of the attention is on a controversy. A French newspaper published accusations the U.S. National Security Agency spied on French citizens, collecting thousands of telephone records. The French paper said the NSA targeted individuals with suspected links to terrorism, as well as those tied to French business or politics. Well, President Obama just called France's president, said there are legitimate questions about U.S. intelligence gathering.
President Obama just addressed problems with the rollout of the Affordable Care Act, which has been plagued with problems. He says everything's being done to make sure Americans can sign up for health care, but as Tara Merchiner shows us, some experts think it could be a while before those problems are fixed.
Ladies and gentlemen,
President Obama walked into the Rose Garden with Janice Baker, who says she's the first woman from Delaware to enroll in the new healthcare marketplace.
Like many consumers out there, it took me a number of frustrating attempts before I could apply for it and select my plan.
Problems continue to plague healthcare.gov. Some 19 million people have visited since October 1st, but only 500,000 have successfully applied. And the White House won't say how many people have actually been able to select a health insurance plan.
Nobody's madder than me about the fact that the website isn't working as well as it should, which means it's going to get fixed.
The president says IT experts are now working on repairs, but he's not giving a target date for when the site will be fully up to speed.
Software expert Bill Curtis says there are problems throughout the site, and it could take weeks or even months to fix.
This is a system that was rushed out much too quickly, and they didn't have a chance to thoroughly test the system and find all the problems before it went into operation.
One change already in the works, users will be able to view plans without first having to fill out applications with huge amounts of personal information. Tara Merchiner for CBS News, the White House.
Later this week, House Republicans hold hearings on the cost of the health care rollout and who's responsible for all the failures. And a woman standing behind the president during this morning's remarks actually appeared to come close to fainting.
Well, the president noticed what was happening and he turned to help her.
There you go. You're okay. I'm right here. I got you. Yeah. No, you're okay. This happens when I talk too long.
Well, the White House says the San Diego woman suffers from type 1 diabetes, and furthermore, she's pregnant. She later tweeted, "She's okay, just got a bit lightheaded," and by the way, she thanked the president for stepping in.
Well, still to come, paying it forward. The Good Samaritan at a Cambridge restaurant who stepped up to help two unsuspecting women.
Plus, bucking tradition at Buckingham Palace. When we return, the untraditional details of Prince George's upcoming christening.
DCU Mobile Banking lets you deposit checks, pay bills, transfer money. So if you like saving lots of time and money, there's an app for that.
Welcome to Bucktoberfest at Buck Honda on the Automile Route 1 in Norwood and Buck Honda Fest in Wexford, Mass. Start something special. Drive home a brand new Honda Civic for only $48 per month. 2 great Buck Honda locations. 1 frightfully low Buck Honda price. Bucktoberfest only at Buck Honda.
Hi.
Hi.
Do you do free exam and x-rays?
Exam and x-rays? Yes.
Free?
No.
No free exam and x-rays.
Exam, yes. X-rays, yes. Free? No.
You're nodding yes, but saying no.
Yes to no. No.
Okay, hold it. Let's try something new.
Are my first exam and x-rays free?
Completely free.
Free?
Zip, zero, nada.
Nice.
Aspen Dental is doing whatever it takes to give America a healthy mouth, like offering free exams and x-rays. Call 1-800-ASPEN-DENTAL, because your mouth is our mission.
You know that family? The one whose eye for design is apparent in every detail? Whose refined taste is best characterized by the company they keep? Well, say hello to the newest member of the family, the Cadillac SRX, awarded Best Interior Design of any luxury brand.
This is 2013 SRX for around $369 a month. Visit newenglandcadillac.com for this attractive offer.
Transform any room in your home with quality custom window treatments from 3-Day Blinds. 3-Day Blinds' experienced in-home design consultants offer unrivaled convenience and service with an eye towards design and functionality that's sure to inspire. Now, we want you to inspire us. Know someone who deserves a window treatment makeover? Nominate their inspirational story at cbsboston.com/contests, and they could win a 3-Day Blinds window treatment makeover. 3-Day Blinds. You'll love the treatment.
Candy. Who doesn't want a little candy? This Halloween, your New England Honda dealers want you to bring home a different kind of candy. Automotive candy, that is. Choose from a great selection of new Honda Civics, Accords, Pilots, Odysseys, and CRVs. Unwrap a sweet deal on the all-wheel drive CRV for just $249 a month. Hurry in. The sweet incentives will all be gone Monday, November 4th at the Halloween Savings Event at your New England Honda dealers.
Is it smarter to buy a new car or a used car? Well, you can save a lot of money either way, because DCU gives you the exact same amazingly low car loan rate on new cars or used cars. So you decide.
Well, they may have picked a traditional name for their son, but when it comes to baptizing Prince George, Prince William and Kate are going their own way. On Wednesday, the third in line to the throne will be christened inside St. James's Palace. It's a big change. Typically, royal babies are christened at Buckingham Palace. And the ceremony will be a private one, but we are expecting to learn the names of the baby's godparents. And Carol Burnett, my absolute favorite, just received the nation's top prize for humor. Last night, the comedian was honored with the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor at the Kennedy Awards. And Julie Andrews, Tina Fey, and Tony Bennett were all on hand to congratulate her, and those awards will be broadcast next month. Jack?
How about a little bit of good news about gas prices here in Massachusetts? In fact, according to AAA, gas prices are holding steady. The average price of a gallon of unleaded gas, $3.39 now. It is a little bit more expensive than the national at $3.35 a gallon, but think positively. Exactly 1 year ago, we were paying through the nose. We were paying $3.76 a gallon. So there. Coming up tonight at 11 o'clock, ask anybody who's been house hunting in the greater Boston area. Boy, it's a tough market out there. Houses are selling within days, even hours in some cases.
So you start to wonder if you're going to have to give up on really everything on the wish list. It's like a punch in the gut every Sunday.
Well, it's a great time for sellers, but buyers are being forced to be creative. The lengths that some people are going in order to find their family a home. Tonight at 11 o'clock, we'll tell you all about it on WBZ News.
So stand up for me. Does it hurt?
No. She's staying on her.
After the break, an incredible story of determination. A Boston Marathon survivor's first steps on her own. Adrienne Haslet-Davis shares her road to recovery.
That's been a great weather story over the past several weeks, but we do have some big changes on the way, including much colder air. We'll talk about it after the break.
When you watch BZ at 11 o'clock, you see stories that break news.
Allegations that a high-profile lawyer running for public office has a disturbing past.
Investigations that get results.
Tonight, the chief of police in Revere is promising sweeping changes after an I-team investigation.
Stories you won't see anywhere else.
It has to be a bittersweet night for Mayor Tom Menino.
John Keller was the only reporter to sit down with him tonight.
Turn to Lisa Hughes, Johnathan Elias, and the National Emmy Award-winning WBZ News at 11.
Ooh, now it's love. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, now it's love. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Subaru takes you safely on adventures and brings you home memories. Buy a brand new 2014 all-wheel drive Subaru Outback, well equipped for only $23,795.
It's love. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Diamonds, half-carat solitaires, $4.99. 1 carat, $9.90. Certified 1 carats are just $19.90. Thousands of GIA diamonds, guaranteed the lowest price. The latest designer styles set while you watch. By Factory Direct, the Jewelry Exchange in Sudbury.
At GMC, incredible thinking is everywhere. It's in the state-of-the-art dealerships. It's in a customer experience that's ranked highest by J.D. Power. And it's in the advanced engineering of the entire GMC lineup. During the GMC sell-down, lease this 2013 GMC Terrain SLE for around $199 per month. Plus, get 1 year of Sirius XM, including every NFL game.
At UMass Amherst, the Commonwealth's flagship campus, we stand for progress. From the discoveries in our new life science laboratories, to our graduate work in renewable energy, to our advancements in life-saving storm tracking technology, and our mission to modernize some of the state's oldest native industries. At UMass Amherst, we don't just think about the future of Massachusetts, we help define it.
Hi, I'm Dawn Hayes for the Toyota Winning Numbers sales event. And the winning numbers are 2, 9, and 9. That's a winning $299 lease on an all-new Tundra Decab SR5. And next we have a 2. That's a winning 2 years no-cost maintenance on any new Toyota. The Toyota Winning Numbers sales event is going on now. Everyone's a winner. Toyota, let's go places.
Good evening, this is Flo. Yes, send that, Flo. Aren't you sweet? Licensed phone reps available 24/7. Call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Today's stock update is brought to you by Avidia Bank. Visit us at avidiabank.com.
It's been a little over 6 months since the Boston Marathon bombings, and Adrienne Haslet-Davis is one of the survivors. She's a professional dance instructor, but she lost her left leg below the knee, but she vowed to dance again.
And she agreed to film her recovery and says she really didn't want to sugarcoat her story. She shared the following video diary entry of the moment when she was being fitted for a prosthesis.
I'm on my way to a prosthetician appointment. Still working on that word. And they are going to fit me for my leg. Yay! So exciting!
Oh my gosh. Hi. Here's your foot. Oh. Look at the other side. This is like seeing my child walk for the first time again. It's pretty emotional and it's pretty exciting. but she's a star. She's amazing.
So stand up for me.
Does it hurt?
No, she's standing on her own.
So what you feel, or what I need you to differentiate. Okay. Doing good. At your own speed.
Okay. Okay. It feels really good just to stand up right now. I haven't stood up in a really long time. I almost forgot what it felt like. It reminds me of dancing, and I just so desperately want that again. And I'm so close. It feels really good.
7, 8.
I think I'm further than I thought I'd be in 6 months. I remember just getting my prosthetic and thinking that it would take forever, and then also in the same time thinking, you know, I've got to do this. I had made a very strong point to not dwell on the people that did this. I insist on being called a survivor and not a victim. A victim gives him ownership on me, and I'm not having that. That means that I somehow belong to somebody, or I'm suffering because of him, and I'm not suffering. I'm thriving.
I, for one, am so thrilled she allowed all of that to be taped. Sometimes I think we forget what people have gone through since the bombing 6 months ago. It has not been easy.
It's incredible to be allowed in on that moment, and boy, she's brave.
Beautiful young woman.
She's doing great. Yeah, she really is. So, here we are, headed toward a World Series 6 months later.
Wearing a parka.
I know.
What a year it's been, huh? I mean, just an emotional roller coaster all the way around.
It really, really is. I love Big Papi the other night saying a lot of families have suffered, and that he wants them to enjoy this.
All right, we're going to try to bring one home. I wish the weather would be a little more comfortable, but I don't think anyone will complain. The Sox are in. What else do you want, right? And this evening, certainly no complaints. It's 61 degrees in Boston, 60s across pretty much the entire area. High was 68 in Boston this afternoon. The good times, they've been extra good. But we look off to the north and west, and the cold air is starting to move in. The upper Midwest, Minneapolis right now at 38 degrees. That's the cold air that's heading our direction. And you see there's some snowflakes in that as well. Also some rain showers. This is the part of the storm we're going to be watching, but it is a sign of the times here at the Arrowhead of Minnesota, UP of Michigan, lake effect snow coming down, and that colder air will be on the move throughout the week. Temperatures tonight, not bad. As a matter of fact, not as cold as last night. Many towns are well back into the 30s. We're looking at generally low 50s for the Cape, the Islands, and the South Coast. 40s inland and around 50 in downtown Boston. And the clouds will start to increase a little bit tonight. Take a look at how we see the future panning out as we head toward midnight. Still mainly clear, but after midnight, you will see patchy cloud cover. That's the way you'll wake up tomorrow morning. A mix of sun and clouds. Still a pretty nice day. We'll look at the clouds increase around lunchtime, and then in the evening, couple of showers moving through. I think anything that falls is going to be really light and really fleeting, so the vast majority of the day is going to be dry. 50 degrees around sunrise. It's at 7:05 tomorrow morning. No issues at the bus stop. Lunchtime, it's filtered sunshine in mid-60s. We'll probably bump up to the mid-upper 60s, then start to fall around commute time. There'll be a brief shower around, then those winds will start to pick up out of the west. That's the start of the colder air. It's going to take a little while to drain in, and then we're going to watch a little trailing area of low pressure that's going to move up the coast on Wednesday. This is going to keep a lot of clouds around. You notice the rain shield, and that's going to move its way off to the north and east. Right now, it looks like the best chance of a more steady rain, that's going to be for southeast Mass, especially Cape Cod, Nantucket, and Martha's Vineyard. Move westward, drier weather, maybe a couple of showers, but certainly a lot of clouds. There's a chance, a slight chance that around the Monadnocks, maybe northeast Connecticut, going to Rhode Island, where you get a little bit of elevation, there could be a couple of wet snowflakes on Wednesday evening. Don't think it's going to add up to too much, but snow after this stretch, that's something to talk about. And then as we head toward the night, that area of low pressure is quickly going to move off to the east, and a brisk northwesterly flow will move in behind it. So for the Sox, we've got the 40s, wind chill in the 30s as we head through the game. It'll be wet early, but I think everything's gone by the time the game starts. And then on Thursday, it's dry, cold, and breezy. Temperatures in the mid-40s, and the wind chill back into the 30s. All be bundled up at Fenway Park this week. And that cold air, big trough in the jet stream, really going to establish itself across the eastern United States. By Friday morning, it'll be 20s all the way down into North Georgia. So we won't be alone. Everyone will be feeling the cold east of the Rockies. How cold will it be? Well, the average first 50 degrees degree day in Boston, which is what we expect on Wednesday, is November 4th. So we're not too far off the average. The average first frost is also November 4th, which we may get in the Boston area this week. And the last 32 we saw in the city was on April 7th. It's been a long time. Also in the tropics, quick mention, that's Lorenzo. It's well out to sea. It'll stay out to sea. Just a note, it's the 12th named storm of the season, but a very low-impact season in the Atlantic. Your WBZ AccuWeather 7-day forecast. We'll take a look at some of the numbers here and pay attention to the nights. If you got your garden still going, I know many of you do, we're going to be looking at 30s on Wednesday, but I think we avoid the frost. There will be some frost on Thursday morning. Friday morning, awful chilly, and then it's Saturday morning, I think, is the coldest, most widespread frost we'll be dealing with, and low 50s for highs, even some 40s.
So no one bring those flowers in from your...
You know what? At this point, I think you just say thank you for the nice season. You wave the white flag, and we call it November.
Thanks, Eric.
Thanks, Eric. While her former boss launches a run for governor, a top aide to Martha Coakley is running for attorney general. Maura Healey worked alongside Coakley to challenge the federal government's Defense of Marriage Act. Healey spoke to us about why she decided to run.
I'm running because I want to bring the experience I've had in the office and the leadership I've shown in the office to this position and continue the office's great tradition of really improving the lives of people here in Massachusetts.
By the way, Healey's a former captain of Harvard's women's basketball team. She also played professionally for 2 years in Austria before joining the Attorney General's office.
And we also want to say congratulations to all of the runners who helped by participating in the Mystic Aquarium 7th Annual Penguin Run/Walk. Saturday's 5K run and 2-mile walk raised more than $37,000, all to benefit the endangered African penguin.
A random act of kindness inside a local restaurant is certainly getting a lot of national attention.
Right after the break, what prompted one customer to pay for another table's meal? Now, here is Lisa with a look at what's ahead at 6.
Paul and Jack, that's a great story. New at 6 o'clock. It's a great time to be in the city. Want to get a hotel room around Fenway? For that, you may already be out of luck. Coming up next, the World Series fever spreading through Boston businesses. And no Capes Crusader needed here. The Joker busted in New England at 6.
The Volkswagen Sign Then Drive sales event is back, which means it's never been easier to get a new Passat. Awarded J.D. Power's most appealing midsize car 2 years in a row. And right now, you can drive one home for practically just your signature. It's zero do-it signing, zero down, zero deposit, and zero first month's payment on any new 2014 Volkswagen. Hurry, this offer ends October 31st. For details, visit VWDealer.com today.
You've worked hard to live your best life. And Rite Aid has what you need to keep you there, including a free review of Medicare Part D prescription plans with a pharmacist. Get the right information to pick the plan with the best value based on your Rite Aid prescriptions, and avoid the possibility of overpaying, as plans can change year to year. And another Wellness 65 Plus benefit, save 20% off almost everything the first Wednesday of every month. Enroll free today.
You know that family? The one whose eye for design is apparent in every detail? Whose refined taste is best characterized by the company they keep? Well, say hello to the newest member of the family, the Cadillac SRX, awarded Best Interior Design of any luxury brand.
This is 2013 SRX for around $369 a month. Visit newenglandcadillac.com for this attractive offer.
In Italy, there is one mozzarella cheese brand at the heart of every kitchen, in the center of every table.
Galbani.
A mozzarella cheese so authentic, so deliciously meltable, you can't resist.
Galbani.
Now Sorrento has joined with Galbani to continue making authentic mozzarella cheese here in the U.S. Enjoy the true taste of Italy at your table.
Galbani.
With Sorrento, now Galbani, Italy's favorite cheese brand.
The Pick Your Perfect Civic event is happening now, and you could get an amazing deal on a new Honda Civic. Our best Civic yet is loaded with standard features, and it was the first car in its category to receive the highest rating of Top Safety Pick Plus from the IIHS. So head to your Honda dealer today, and you could get an incredible deal on the car everyone loves. Now, at the Pick Your Perfect Civic event. Lease one for just $159 per month, with $19.99 due at signing. Now, at your Honda dealer.
Well, tonight, proof that there is good in in the world, one of those special moments. A customer at the Daedalus restaurant in Cambridge handed his waitress this note. He saw two women at a table nearby who were crying, and it read, "Do me a favor and bring me their check too. Someone just got diagnosed. Don't tell them." When the ladies asked for their check, the waitress told them that the gentleman had taken care of it, and the women were overwhelmed. Whoever you are in Cambridge, very gracious. Thank you. We have much more news still ahead. Stay with us. The news at 6 o'clock starts right now.
The Red Sox back to work and ready to welcome the World Series to Fenway.
And while the Red Sox work out and get ready for Game 1 on Wednesday night,
losing out.
Live from Boston, WBZ News at 6 starts right now.
Now at 6 o'clock, Fenway Park, home of the Boston Red Sox, now just 4 wins from becoming World Series champions. Great to be in this position, but the Sox know better than anyone that beating the St. Louis Cardinals isn't going to be easy. Thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Lisa Hughes.
And I'm Jack Williams. You know, it's a good matchup for the Fall Classic. Sox and Cardinals were the best two teams in baseball for the regular season. The records were identical, 97 wins, 65 losses. Dan Roche, he's one of the great experts on our Red Sox. He's at Fenway Park. Dan?
oh, thank you, Jack. And yeah, it's the first time since 1999 when the Braves and the Yankees went at it in the Fall Classic, team having the best record in baseball in each of their respective leagues. So we should have a pretty good matchup here for the World Series. First time, of course, for the Sox making the trip since 2007. Now, the Sox were back on the field just a short time ago here at Fenway Park, getting their work in. After having yesterday off, it's certainly been an unforgettable postseason so far. After a tricky 4-game set with the Rays, the Sox were able to beat a tough Tigers team in 6 games in a very entertaining and well-played ALCS. But that's all behind them now, and it's time to prepare for baseball's biggest stage.
I guess as cliche as it sounds or what, but, that's why I signed up for this game. I just signed up for this game, to have baseball as my job and, have everything comes around with it. I signed up for this game to get a ring, and playing this game for a while has really made me realize and be a reality of how hard it is to do that.
Yeah, pretty good stuff. They're all excited in that locker room and in the clubhouse. That's what they play for. And, of course, it all starts here coming up on Wednesday night. Now, John Farrell did not name his entire starting rotation for the World Series just yet, but he did name his Game 1 starter. We'll tell you who that is and hear from the Sox on who faces on that pitcher that will be on the mound coming up on Wednesday night. Much more coming up in sports in just a few minutes. Lisa, let's get back to you.
Can't get enough of it. Dan, thank you. Well, no surprise here. Ticket prices for Game 1 are pretty wild. Seats in the bleachers, typically the cheap seats, those are going for at least $500, and some of the tickets are closer to $700. That, however, is a good deal compared to the left field grandstand. Take a look at this. Those tickets starting at $700, going up to $950. And hey, if money is no object, well, there's always the first baseline. Ace Tickets has sold those seats for more than $2,700, all the way up to $6,000. Now, beyond the tickets, all the fans spending and shopping, that adds up to big money for Boston. And our team coverage continues now with Paul Burton live outside Fenway. Paul?
Well, here you go, Lisa and Jack. I have your official T-shirts here, your World Series official anchoring T-shirts. I'm not sure if you're allowed to wear this on the desk, but if you can, here you go. Only $40 a pop. They're selling very quickly at the Red Sox team store. Local businesses are so excited for the World Series. They're stocking their shelves, getting all their inventory set in place, getting ready for the influx of fans. Registers ringing.
It's gonna be hectic down here.
Cash flowing.
Just a great moneymaker, honestly.
And local businesses are booming.
For us, it certainly is all hands on deck.
Now that the Red Sox are heading to the World Series and fans are loving it.
We are just absolutely phenomenally excited.
There you go. Thank you. Have a great day.
At the Red Sox team store, fans are not ashamed to shell out the cash for some World Series apparel.
I bought a World Series hat, a ALCS, a championship hat, and 2 T-shirts.
How much did you spend?
$170.
It's been terrific for us, and
any extra games you can have are huge, and not to mention now it's just a completely different animal.
The World Series is a big moneymaker for hotels.
We get a lot of calls saying money is no object. I certainly wish I had the rooms to sell them.
The Hotel Commonwealth sold out its 150 rooms on Sunday morning.
Not only Hotel Commonwealth, but all the businesses in Kenmore Square really thrive off that Red Sox business.
The Chamber of Commerce estimates the World Series could bring in $9 million per game. Bars and restaurants around the city like Regina Pizzeria are very excited. Plan to stay open longer hours on game night.
With the Sox, it really helps every store we have. South Station, the North End, Fenway, Prudential.
And the city and state already took in about $10 million from the ALCS. The city could take in an additional $40 million from the World Series when it's all said and done. We're live outside of Fenway Park on Paul Burton, WBZ News. Jack and Lisa, back to you, but you gotta love these shirts here.
We do. Thank you so much, Paul. They're both great. So you think the Red Sox are going to sweep again? Go to cbsboston.com to vote in our web poll. Also online, John Keller's blog on how this World Series could be a sign of change for Boston. And our website is also the place where you can share your fan photos.
Well, it's just too bad this wonderful weather couldn't stick around for the World Series. It doesn't get any better than this. Sox won't be so lucky when the series begins. Our chief meteorologist, Eric Fisher, now with details of a downhill forecast.
Hey, you know, you get to late October here, and you know what happens. It tends to get cold. It tends to get a little bit nastier, and that's what we're going to be watching. This is a live look at Fenway this evening. Sun going down, but just a great night out there. We are temperatures well up into the 60s. Not so much as we head toward Wednesday night and into Thursday night. We do think there'll be some rain around on Wednesday. It'll wrap up right before the start of the game. Temperatures in the 40s, but with the wind, it'll feel more like the 30s. Clear, cold, and breezy for Thursday night's game. Again, the 40s, but feeling more like the 30s. It'll be bundled up out there. Here's the cold air. It's out across the Great Lakes. It's headed in our direction. It'll be cool tonight, but not that cold. We'll talk about the details on all this coming up in just a little bit. Jack.
All right, Eric, thank you. Now at 6 o'clock, an MBTA passenger is blaming her fall into a subway pit, sleepwalking. When the woman fell, nobody was around, but as Christina Hager shows us, MBTA riders soon discovered the woman laying there, and she was in real danger.
It's hard to imagine falling asleep in a place like this, let alone sleepwalking. That's what this woman on the right of this surveillance video screen told police she was doing when she walked toward the outbound tracks. It was at the Davis Square stop just before 9 a.m. The warning signs did not register, nor the bright yellow textured strip. She tumbled right onto the tracks.
She didn't hesitate at all. If somebody was deliberately doing that, they would at least stop at the edge, it seems.
Oh my God. We showed the video to regulars here on the Red Line.
It looked like there was an unexpected fall. Her body wasn't prepared for that fall. She didn't brace herself when she hit the tracks or hit the ground. It was just absolutely just flat on her torso.
For sleepwalking, that's the first time I ever had it happen. If you're thinking about how unlucky this woman was for this to happen, consider it was luck that saved her life. She missed the electrified third rail here. TA spokesperson says there were no trains in the area. This could have been so much worse. Also lucky, it only took seconds for riders to arrive, pull her out, and call EMTs and police. After all this, nothing more than an injured arm.
She was lucky that if she was also still asleep or something, or at the bottom, she was lucky people saw her when she did.
And one heck of a survival story.
The big guy was looking out for her.
In Somerville, Christina Hager, WBZ News.
New at 6, transit police say they have arrested the man who attacked an MBTA driver and caused his bus to crash into a parked car. Douglas Bergeron was taken into custody today in Malden. He will be charged with assault and battery. In the Aaron Hernandez trial, the judge says she will not take herself off the case. Hernandez was in court today, but the issue at hand involves prosecutor William McCauley and a murder case he tried before Judge Susan Garsh in 2010. McCauley asked Garsh to remove herself from the Hernandez trial because he claims she showed bias in some of her rulings. McCauley also says Garsh undermined his credibility.
I noted that there was what I perceived to be a disparity in the manner in which you engaged myself, and that you didn't engage the defense attorney in the same manner.
The fact that a judge may have ruled against me in a case does not allow me to have a lifetime exemption from appearing before that judge again.
Well, Judge Garsh denied having any ill will toward McCauley and said she will be fair and impartial in the Hernandez case. The DA does not plan to appeal.
It was certainly a scary moment. Nearly 24 children shaken when a car crashed right into the back of their school bus in Seacock this morning. The bus was picking up students along Route 6. Driver of the car was seriously hurt. Crews used the jaws of life to get him out of there. The driver slammed into the bus, which just stopped to pick up the children. Nobody on the bus was hurt. Another bus came by and took those students safely to school. Coming up on WBZ News, Route 2 neighbors are seething. Why they say the noise from the highway is suddenly unbearable, and why the state says it won't do anything about it.
Well, here's the one bright spot of the Patriots game, Gronk's return, and how the Patriots tight end is feeling after a surprisingly busy day.
And why so serious? The Joker, locked up in a New England jail.
Some things you just can't make up, right? We're talking about some big changes in our weather. Party's over. We got the details coming up after the break.
This is the new award-winning lineup at the Jeep Celebration event. This is rediscovering what it's like to discover. This is the pinnacle of luxury in a full-size SUV. This is doing what you were born to do. And this is where open air meets the open road. Rediscover adventure today before the celebration ends November 4th. Get a low-mileage lease on the 2014 Patriot Latitude front-wheel drive for $179 a month for well-qualified lessees. There are a number of new reasons to look at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Massachusetts for your Medicare options. The name you know so well now has options you may not know, starting with new Blue Cross Medicare plans as low as $0. These plans include everything from routine annual physicals to hearing and vision exams, and prescription drugs. And we have an affordable individual dental plan too. Call us for information and to request our free guide to Medicare. And of course, these plans all come with the peace of mind of Blue Cross. So call 1-888-800-8445 for your free copy of your guide to Medicare with no obligation. You've got a number of reasons to go with Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Hi, it's Ashley. This is not a good time. I'm redoing the bathroom and there's workers and tiles everywhere. The noise is unbearable. My nerves are completely frayed. Leave me a message. I'll call you back when it's all over. Hi, sweetie. Well, your dad and I thought we'd come for the weekend, but sounds like you're in over your head. Call me.
At Bath Fitter, we know you have better things to do with your time. One-day installation, no mess, no fuss, and a lifetime warranty. Call now for a free in-home estimate or visit our website and discover what millions of people already have.
You've worked hard to live your best life. And Rite Aid has what you need to keep you there, including a free review of Medicare Part D prescription plans with a pharmacist. Get the right information to pick the plan with the best value based on your Rite Aid prescriptions, and avoid the possibility of overpaying, as plans can change year to year. And another Wellness 65 Plus benefit, save 20% off almost everything the first Wednesday of every month. Enroll free today.
You can choose to blend in. Or you can choose to blend out. The all-new 2014 Lexus IS. It's your move. Lease the all-wheel drive 2014 IS 250 for $349 a month for 27 months. See your Lexus dealer.
You've been along here lately and talking about Route 2. It's in the midst of a major overhaul to try to make it less of a traffic nightmare. But neighbors are infuriated. They say they are the ones paying the price.
Now, we've seen this. It is a big project that includes widening the road. And as Chief Correspondent Joe Shortsleeve explains, some homeowners now feel they're living on top of the highway.
Everyone's saying, you know, it's so much louder now.
Vince Valentine's home used to be tucked away in the woods of Lincoln. But since the state began its long overdue $50 million Route 2 expansion project, acres and acres of trees have been cut down, and the highway traffic noise is now closer and louder.
No one expected our beautiful forest to be taken away. You know, the fact of the matter is, it is destroying this neighborhood. you know, without any protection from the high-speed traffic.
Neighbors we spoke with say they knew what was going to happen. They knew the road was going to be expanded. They didn't know how loud it was going to be. And now they want something done.
The quality of our life will continue to go down.
Jackie Drummond says her home, which now almost sits right on Route 2, is losing value every day.
We want protection from the visual, from the sound, from the horns, from anything that's out there.
State engineers admit there are no plans for sound barriers, which cost millions of dollars. One reason? In sparsely populated Lincoln, there just are not enough homes impacted by the elevated noise levels.
And we just felt in this case it would be a huge financial expense and very little benefit derived.
So while it's possible they could meet decibel levels, the fact that there's just so few of them, in this case, doesn't meet the criteria for a sound barrier.
That's correct.
Brooks Road residents are not giving up, and they've started a Facebook page, complete with photos of missing trees and their once quiet neighborhood. Joe Schwartzik, WBZ News.
Well, Batman was nowhere to be found, but it really didn't matter because the Joker was locked up over the weekend. You know, we can't make this up. Police in Pittsfield, Maine, arrested Dennis Lalime over the weekend. He was driving home from a Halloween party, and police say he had just a little bit too much fun. Police say he was drunk, lost control of his car, and slammed into a few trees and rocks.
Ready for his close-up right there.
Oh, explain that away to the young lady at home. And let's talk about changes in the weather, should we?
Oh, after a gorgeous weekend, our chief meteorologist Eric Fisher joins us now. Eric, it's going to get cold around here.
It is, and you know, it's time. We've been just looking out all fall long. It's been fantastic. I want to look back at an amazing October. We've had 18 of 21 days at or above average in terms of temperature. For the month, we're running 5 degrees above average. It equals out over each day, and 6 days have been 70 degrees or higher. We've had plenty of days in the upper 60s. It's also been dry. We could use some rain. We've got one more above average day to go. And then, our times are numbered. There's the cold air. It's out across the upper Midwest. The 30s in places like the Twin Cities. And ever so slowly, it's going to start to filter its way off to the south and east until it takes over the whole eastern half of the United States. There's also a front that we're watching. It's right in here. You see that thin line of showers reaching back to the Ohio Valley? That's going to move through our area tomorrow. And that's the first leading edge of that colder air. In the meantime, it's a nice evening. No major issues. We've got clear skies across southern New England. Some clouds starting to filter in across Vermont and parts of New Hampshire. And we're going to see those clouds start to increase locally, especially after midnight. 50 the low temperature in Boston, 40s for Fitchburg and Worcester. Most spots will be about 10 degrees warmer than they were last night. We had some patchy frost, especially north and west of Boston. The Cape and the Islands in the low 50s for tonight. Our winds also starting to come out of the south, and we'll see a little bit of patchy valley fog overnight. Otherwise, some other cloud cover starts to move in. Tomorrow is generally it's mid-level clouds. It's not the really high wispy stuff. It's not the really low cloud base dark clouds. It's the stuff in between. And as we head toward the afternoon, there may be a couple of showers out there north and west of the city. Anything would be really light and very fleeting, so not a lot of rain, and many towns will end up staying dry. So for tomorrow morning, 50 degrees, dry and cool. Sunrise is at 7:05. You notice those mornings are a little bit more dim than they have been over the summer. Filtered sunshine at midday in the mid-60s. We'll be around the mid-60s at the commute, but then temperatures falling off and the wind really starting to turn around to the west. That's the colder air starting to come in. Also watching a coastal low as we head toward Wednesday. This is going to move off to our south and east, really just brushing southeastern Mass. The farther west you go, you may see a scattered shower. That would be about it. Quickly, this is going to move its way off to the east, and then just a brisk northwesterly wind that will be with us all the way through Friday. In terms of total rain, you see what the models are kind of progging for this, and by far and large, the heaviest totals should be around the Cape, the islands, the south coast, and southern Rhode Island. As you move up toward Boston, we'll see some rain and maybe even a couple of wet snowflakes as that ends on Wednesday night. Can't rule it out. It'll be very warm at the surface, though. That would be the only thing counting against us. And the jet stream carving out a big trough in the east. That cold air will overspread everyone. By Friday morning, the 20s will get all the way down into North Georgia. It's below average for sure, but I say it's about time. We could use some change here. WBZ AccuWeather 7-day forecast looks like this. Pay attention to the nights here because they too will be quite cold. We haven't seen a frost in many areas yet. We'll see the first chance for that on Thursday morning, a better chance on Friday morning, and I think the best chance for widespread frost and probably a killing freeze would be Friday night into Saturday morning. As we head towards Sunday, we'll start the warming trend, and Monday, we're back to 60 degrees. So we're not plunging right into winter, at least not yet. Jack, Lisa, back to you.
Easing in. All right, Eric, thank you. I want to show you a live picture. It appears the Red Sox World Series opponents have just landed, the St. Louis Cardinals at Logan Airport. They've gotten off the plane. They're boarding the buses now. The two best teams in baseball about to play for the championship.
I can't believe it, but I can't name one of St. Louis's players. I know a guy who can, that's Dan Roche. He's at Fenway Park, but that's why we pay him the big bucks. Dan?
Al, Jack, and Lisa, yeah, they have a lot of good players. Trust me, Waka Waka. Remember that. Michael Waka is a young stud ace for them. He's the guy that was the MVP of the NLCS, so watch out for him when it comes to the Cardinals as they come into Fenway Park. Good to see them two historic baseball franchises going at it. First time since the 2004 World Series when the Sox beat the Redbirds, swept them out to win their first World Series crown in 86 years. Now the Red Sox working out today, and think about this, when you watch the Red Sox, the only remaining player from that team is David Ortiz, the 2004 Sox team. So this is a brand new series. This Cardinals team should provide a stiffer test than they did back in 04. Now this team is well balanced with good starting pitching, a strong bullpen, and a pesky lineup. And the Sox know they're in for a hard-fought battle.
You don't get to the World Series by not being good. I mean, any team in the NL was going to have a good bullpen. You need a good bullpen to go to the World Series. You need good starters. You need good offense. You need good everything. You know, there's no Cinderella story. It's in the World Series. So regardless what team we drew and fortunate enough to go, it's going to be a heavyweight bout.
Meanwhile, no big surprise. Sox manager John Farrell announcing John Lester will get the start in Game 1. He won't announce the rest of his rotation until tomorrow, but John Lackey did throw in the bullpen today, so he's a possibility, a strong one, for Game 2. Now, regardless, the Sox love Lester, their ace, on the mound for the opener.
The guy is just a great competitor and a great teammate, and he wants the responsibility, and he's stepped up for us and been, you know, a stud and our horse, and you know, that's what we expect out of him. We know how good he is, but he's just showing the world how good he is.
And in other baseball news, Jim Leyland stepping down as manager of the Detroit Tigers. Did that this morning after 8 seasons with the team. 68-year-old simply said it was time. He'll remain with the organization in some capacity. Leyland's club has been to the ALCS for the last 3 seasons. He also guided them to 2 World Series appearances, but they never won the big prize. All right, let's go to football. The Patriots, a lot of fans still in that hard-to-believe mode after what happened yesterday. Chris Jones, the defensive lineman, flagged for a penalty that was just instituted this offseason, and it gave the Jets an overtime 30-27 win over the Patriots. Now, Bill Belichick questioned the call after the game, but changed his mind during a conference call this morning, saying he was wrong and the penalty should have been called. All right, a bit lost in all the endgame hoopla was the return of Rob Gronkowski to the field. The Pats tight end played his first game since undergoing multiple surgeries on his forearm and back, and he looked pretty good. Tom Brady threw to him early and often as Gronk finished with 8 catches for 114 yards. He was targeted 17 times and did have a couple of drops, but more importantly, his health wasn't an issue.
It was just really after the first play. I mean, after the first time you get tackled, after the first blocking play, after basically the first play. And felt good. Felt just like normal, just being back out there with the teammates and rolling.
Well, good to see him back on the field, and it'll be good to see the Red Sox and Cardinals working out tomorrow here at Fenway Park, getting ready for the big Game 1 here Wednesday night. Everyone excited. Can't wait for that. Jack and Lisa, back to you guys.
Dan Roche, thank you. CBS Evening News is coming up in a moment at 6:30.
And Scott Pelley joins us live from New York now with a preview. Scott?
Lisa, Jack, great to be with you in Boston. You're going to have to see this to believe it. I had to see it to believe. There's a phenomenon going on around the country, and there's been problems with it here in New York in particular, called stunting. That's when swarms of motorbikes go out on the freeway and perform amazing gravity-defying stunts, but in with the regular traffic, causing enormous problems on the roadways. We're going to have a report on this, and wait till you see some of these things that these bikers can do on the back of a motorcycle. Unbelievable. We'll have that and the rest of the world news for you on the CBS Evening News in about 10 minutes.
All right, Scott, thank you. Still to come, fans losing control. A man in a Jets jersey videotape punching a female Patriots fan.
New tonight, before you say your vows. Hi.
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 Hi. You stole our story of how we met?
You better get your story straight.
If you two want to get married in my church, you'll stop breaking the 9th commandment.
No fat chicks?
You're killing me.
A new How I Met Your Mother. Then, hang out with TV's 2 best friends 1/2 hour earlier.
You don't see my abs coming in? Not bad for having 3 kids on.
A new 2 broke girls after a new How I Met Your Mother. It all starts tonight, 8/7 Central.
Ooh, now it's love. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and brings you home memories. Buy a brand new 2014 all-wheel drive Subaru Forester, well equipped for only $21,995. Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Together we will stand. Every boy, girl, woman, and man. Come on now, people. Come on now, people. Let's work together. Come on, let's work together.
You know that family? The one whose eye for design is apparent in every detail? Whose refined taste is best characterized by the company they keep? Well, say hello to the newest member of the family, the Cadillac SRX, awarded Best Interior Design of any luxury brand.
This is 2013 SRX for around $369 a month. Visit newenglandcadillac.com for this attractive offer.
Okay, 6 more visits and you'll have your new dentures.
6.
6.
How about 3?
6.
4.
6.
4.5?
6.
5?
6. Okay, hold it. Let's try something new.
Okay, Mrs. Tucker, your dentures will be ready this Friday.
You can do that?
We do that.
No way.
Yes, way.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
How?
Aspen Dental is doing whatever it takes to give America a healthy mouth, like on-site denture labs for dentures in days, not weeks. Call 1-800-ASPEN-DENTAL because your mouth is our mission.
Movement is a beautiful thing. So is movement restored. New England Baptist Hospital. The only hospital in New England specializing exclusively in orthopedics and musculoskeletal care.
I'm Dawn Hayes for the Toyota Winning Numbers sales event. And the winning numbers are 1, 9, and 9. That's a winning $199 lease on an all-wheel drive RAV4. Toyota, let's go places.
This is an ugly moment. Police in New Jersey are taking a close look at a video that appears to show a New York Jets fan punching a woman in a Patriots jersey. This video was posted on the website Deadspin. It was recorded yesterday at MetLife Stadium. You see a man in a Jets jersey being pulled out of this scrum here. Then the woman runs toward him, and that's when he punches her. And she reels backward, grabbing her head. New Jersey State Police say they are reviewing this tape.
Very brave. Mayor Tom Menino wants to delay the East Boston casino vote, but the Secretary of State says, hey, that's not going to happen. On Friday, Caesars pulled out of the Suffolk Downs bid because of concerns it would fail the background check. East Boston residents are supposed to vote on the proposal in just over 2 weeks. The mayor wants Suffolk Downs to have a new partner first, but William Galvin says, hey, the ballots, they're already printed.
When we come back, put out to pasture. Moving day for the cows of the Hilltop Steakhouse.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Cumberland Farm. Fall in love with delicious farmhouse blend coffee today. Just 99 cents any size, and only at Cumberland Farms.
Halloween is supposed to be scary, but the biggest fright might be something.
You extreme, come join Bob's All Value Team. Too many men on the field.
Candy. Who doesn't want a little candy? This Halloween, your New England Honda dealers want you to bring home a different kind of candy. Automotive candy, that is. Choose from a great selection of new Honda Civics, Accords, Pilots, Odysseys, and CRVs. Unwrap a sweet deal on the all-wheel drive CRV for just $249 a month. Hurry in. The sweet incentives will all be gone Monday, November 4th at the Halloween Savings Event at your New England Honda dealers.
The military keeps firing tear gas on the crowds, but these people just march right back again.
A world of original reporting on the CBS Evening News with Scott Pelley.
Lisa Hughes and Johnathan Elias, weeknights at 11 on WBZ News.
It was last call for the cows of the Hilltop Steakhouse.
That isn't so. Crews removed the landmark livestock today. Hilltop, of course, is closing in Saugus after 52 years in business. Apparently one of the cows is a little reluctant to leave. That was the antithesis of a stampede. Hat owners get to auction them off anyway.
Think how good those would look right in front of Channel 4.
Yeah, that's an idea. We'll get a fundraiser.
There we go. Pass the hat.
We'll see you at 11 o'clock.